Absolutely, Layla. Like many other cities across the country, including Beijing, residents in the city of Wuhan are bracing for this surge in COVID-19 infection, just as the country is unwinding nearly 3 years of its tough pandemic policy. In Wuhan, this is the situation right now. We know that businesses are closed there. We know that people have been seen standing in line in front of hospitals and clinics. And we also have been following these reports of pharmacies there selling out of fever medications. Very few people are seen in the streets of Wuhan out and about, as residents there are very wary of what's been called an exit wave, a new flare-up of COVID infection. Watch this.
In this restaurant in Wuhan, China, getting a table isn't a problem. Owner Zhu Chongping says even though China revised most of its COVID-19 restrictions last week, the customers have yet to return.
On our street, people are still struggling. They all believe that life will go back to the way it was after reopening. Everyone has this fantasy.
It is a wary reopening in Wuhan, which was the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic 3 years ago. Many small business owners say even though people are freer to move about, there are less customers than before. The streets aren't as bustling as they once were, and some businesses remain closed. Restaurant owner Zhu says people are still afraid of COVID.
Now that things have opened up, it also means the positive cases are all out. No one comes to the restaurant.
Last Wednesday, China lifted many of its strict COVID restrictions following protests against the country's zero COVID policy. In many places, QR codes are no longer needed to enter public spaces, mass testing has been rolled back, and some people are allowed to quarantine at home. But as more people resume contact, there are fears of more scenes like this line of people waiting outside of a fever clinic in Wuhan. Experts say China has fallen short on vaccinating the elderly with boosters, stockpiling antiviral medications, and improving surge capacities in hospitals. And some people worry that could mean more outbreaks.
If we were in lockdown, at least all the asymptomatic cases would either be quarantined at home or sent to makeshift hospitals. But now, with everything opening up, all these people are out, so the infection rate is high. I have a lot of friends who already have a cold or fever, and I'm one of them too.
There are reports of some pharmacies selling out of fever medications, many people bracing for a new wave of sickness. The price of moving away from a zero COVID policy means learning to live with it.
And is trying to let go of its zero COVID policy. One of its top disease experts is speaking out and is warning about a surge in COVID-19 infection. In an interview with Xinhua, the state news agency, over the weekend, Zhong Nanshan made an urgent appeal for a boost in the booster vaccination drive, especially now ahead of the Lunar New Year holiday season, which kicks off in January in China. This is a peak travel season inside China. I want you to look at this statement from Zhong Nanshan, who said this, quote, "Preparations need to be beefed up. I suggest those planning to travel back home get a booster shot so that even with COVID-19 infection, they don't become seriously ill," unquote. Zhong added that Omicron's fatality rate is in line with flu or influenza, effectively downplaying the risks of COVID-19 just as China starts to reopen. Back to you.
Well, on that note, Kristie, as China is untangling itself from years of zero COVID, we understand a senior U.S. delegation is paying a visit this week. What's on the agenda?
That's right. According to the U.S. State Department, they say on the agenda for this visit is how to manage the competition between U.S. and China and also to find new areas of cooperation. A high-level senior U.S. delegation is in Asia this week, visiting Japan, South Korea, as well as China. This comes on the heels, of course, that high-profile meeting between the U.S. President Joe Biden and Xi Jinping, China's leader, that took place on the sidelines of the G20 summit last month in Indonesia. And this upcoming meeting, it effectively sets the stage for the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, who is due to make his visit to pay Beijing a visit in early 2023. Back to you, Layla.
Kristie Lu Stout reporting from Hong Kong. Thank you so much for your continued coverage.
Thank you.